Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. I have an appointment to get my hair cut finally on the 26th of this month, and it's been canceled because they're not allowed to open. And so you're gonna have to put up with this for a little bit longer. I'm thinking I'm just gonna embrace the hair now and maybe just go full mullet and see what happens. But anyway, I just want to talk to you about some hypocrisy that's out there right now, and it's a whole lot of do what we tell you, but not what we do. So here in Canada, we are in what we call our May 2-4 weekend, a Victoria Day weekend, one of our holidays that we celebrate. And it's a long weekend for us. And of course, we have all the politicians out there saying, stay at home, don't visit people, don't go to your other people's homes, don't have any parties, stay at home, stay at home, stay at home. And part of the problem with this was just the last holiday that just went by, our Easter holiday, a bunch of things happened that kind of contradict what the politicians have been telling us. And you kind of shake your head saying, we're doing our best to follow your restrictions to the point where we're losing jobs and we can't go out of our house and things like that. We're losing money. Businesses are going under. And then you turn around and do something like what I'm going to explain. So one of the first things, let's talk about the architect of the entire shutdown in the UK, Neil Ferguson. He was the lead designer of how to shut down the whole country, what they need to do. They always predict the worst to make it seem like the worst. But then he goes out and he's caught not social distancing. In fact, he was sneaking out of the house to see a married woman and have a tryst with her. And obviously he got caught and he had to resign. So there's a perfect case of do what we're telling you. It's really, really severe and everything, but it's not severe enough for me to, not have a booty call, I guess. Jumping. Oh my goodness. And then here we have, in our country, we just had Mother's Day, right? Happy Mother's Day, everybody, everyone. Oh, but don't go see your mother. Don't travel. Don't do any of that because, stay at home. And then we have our premier, which is our governor here in Ontario, had all his family over with his wife on Mother's Day. All his outside daughters came to visit. And we have in Ontario, we have a no more than 5 people in your house unless they already live there rule. And no more than 5 people total, including the people who already live there. And of course, all the daughters came over and spent Mother's Day with their mother. So again, do as we say, not as we do. Not a good look when you're trying to tell the rest of the country who are struggling to put food on the table, not to visit their mother on Mother's Day, but then you go ahead and have a Mother's Day dinner at your place with all your family. Not a good look. But it does not stop there. No, sir, it doesn't stop there. In fact, it goes all the way to the top here in Canada with our own Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, who was famous going into the Easter weekend saying, do not travel, do not go anywhere, stay at home. In fact, Skype that Easter dinner with your family. That's right. He wanted us to Skype our Easter dinners with our family. And then he left the news conference, jumped in the car, crossed the Quebec border, and went to the cottage to meet up with all his family who is at another location, not at home. And one of the other troubles with that is you're not allowed to drive into Quebec. I cannot drive into Quebec. I live like 4 miles from the Quebec border, and I'm not allowed to drive into Quebec. I am turned around at the border. There is a no travel restriction in place. But I guess that doesn't count for the Prime Minister who wants to spend the vacation weekend with his family out at the cottage. Oh, by the way, no one else is allowed to go to Quebec to their cottage. Only the Prime Minister of Canada was allowed to do that. Thank you for telling us to Skype, Mr. Prime Minister, but next time perhaps you should take your own advice before telling us what to do. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. But apparently if you're a politician who makes the rules, you can. It's very, very crazy. And I know people, I'm tired of being inside myself. But when we open up and we're going outside, we still should be following social distancing guidelines. Look what happened in Wisconsin. The Supreme Court in Wisconsin struck down the stay-at-home order. And within minutes, people started flooding the bars. Now take a look at the picture here. Does that look like there's any kind of social distancing at all happening in these bars? Do you see a single mask in any of these bars? No. Guys, I understand. It's great to be able to go to a bar. That's fantastic. But there should have been some social distancing. They just opened up the floodgates. And so I'm kind of happy and wary at the same time that this happened. Here's my thoughts, and then see if you follow me on this. Now, with this happening and all these people visiting the bars and the stores and the restaurants that just immediately opened up overnight, and very little distancing protocols in place, very little anything in place. So if this continues for a few days, which it has, and there is no spike, there is no huge uptick in the cases that are there, that will show that we can ease restrictions, because there was zero protocols in place in these bars. Nothing. No one was staying away from anybody in a lot of these places. So if there's no big uptick over the next 14 to 20 days, does that mean that we should be fine? Do you know what I mean? However, the flip side of that is if there is a huge spike in the next 14 and 20 days, Wisconsin, you just messed yourself up, because those protocols will come in place, and they'll come in place hard, and even harder than they are right now, and there will be a much longer wait to open up. So you see, I'm hoping nothing happens and then everything gets better. And I'm worried that something will happen and it'll make it much worse. So you see how we're on the fence there. But again, it's just something you have to laugh at, especially with politicians. You notice how I didn't bring up any American politicians? There were plenty of examples of the same thing happening in the United States, where do as I tell you, but not as I'm doing. Plenty and plenty of them. But I stuck it to Canada this time just to show you that I'm not bipartisan and I don't care which side. By the way, Doug Ford is part of the PC party here in Canada. Justin Trudeau, the Liberal Party here in Canada. I don't pick sides. Doing something against what you're telling us to do is the same no matter what politician or what party you belong to. It's hypocrisy. Hypocrisy of the biggest level. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's just we got to hold our own politicians responsible for doing what they're telling us to do in the first place? Not only that, what's going to happen in Wisconsin? Do you think there's going to be a big spike? Do you think it's going to stay exactly the same level, of rise that was there? Or do you think it's going to just jump? And if it jumps, we're in trouble. Well, at least Wisconsin's in trouble, because you know darn well those restrictions, bam, are going to come down hard. And you think there were protests there before, you're not going to be able to, you won't have too much of a leg to stand on if the cases triple in the next 15 days. You just won't have a leg to stand on, because you will have been proven wrong. And so I hope that nothing changes, and this might be an example that, okay, let's do it, but you know what? Let's do it with a little more protocol in place, a little more social distancing in place to begin with. Let's not just risk everything all at once. let's at least have a little bit of thought for others who might be a little more vulnerable. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. It was just kind of a little bit more lighthearted, even though it's a serious topic. I just, whenever it comes to politics, I try and avoid it, but when it's so obviously stupid, you have to just laugh. I mean, don't go out, but you go out for a booty call. And then you get caught and you lose your job and you're the main architect of the whole thing. Good job, Neil. Good job. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.